How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. This morning we are in this really cool 1967 Plymouth GTX. Has a 440 and an automatic. Give it a chance to warm up here a little bit. Just pop it neutral, bring our throttle up just a little bit while we cruise down to the stop sign here. Give us a chance just to get a little bit of heat in the motor. Sure, we'll have some traffic coming, so it'll be all right. Give us a little bit more time. It's starting to get cold outside, so got to give them a little bit more of a chance to warm up. All right, so again, we have a 67 Plymouth GTX. This is a real GTX. The motor that's in it is not the original numbers matching 440, but it runs extremely well. More of a stock style 440 than anything, and then backed by a 727 3-speed automatic transmission. This one does have power steering, but it is manual drums. The car does stop nice, but for just kind of safety purposes and my personal preference, I would definitely do a power disc brake conversion at some point. The transmission shifts really nice and positive. My guess is it has a little bit of a shift kit in it because it does shift nice and aggressive like that. But the drivability, other than that, it drives like a stock car. Goes down the road really nice and straight. Again, once it warms up, we'll kind of get on it a little bit more, but a good stock style driving car. As far as your exhaust, it's got exhaust manifolds on it, dual exhaust through a Flowmaster style muffler, and then you have your full tailpipes out the back, so it sounds good going down the road. Almost everything works on this car. A couple things that are not working or need attention. The speedometer works, but it kind of bounces after 50 miles an hour, so it probably needs a new speedo cable. Your interior turn signals and your interior dash lights aren't functioning right, but all of your exterior lights are good. Your headlights, your turn signals, your brake lights. So just a couple little bulbs on the interior and then a new speedo cable. Your wipers work, but your washer sprayer fluids don't. Just kind of your notorious things for an old car. You do have a 2-gauge pod underneath the dash. You have an oil pressure gauge, which is fantastic oil pressure. Temperature gauge as well, which the temperature's coming up good. We're about 180 degrees now. And then you do have your factory Plymouth AM radio, which is kind of cool. The interior of this car is very clean, and I think most of it's probably original. Seat covers are nice, carpet, headliner, visors, all that stuff looks good. Door panels look good. There is a little bit of a wrinkling spot on the lower corner of the door panel over there, but nothing's torn or ripped. Just kind of some little wrinkling happening on the lower parts of both door panels, actually. But the dash is really clean and nice. The package tray looks good. The back seat doesn't look like anyone's ever really even sat in it. It's very, very clean. And if you hear that thing rolling around back there, that's actually my microphone for the rear camera. So it came undone off of its mount, so it's kind of sliding around in the back. The other thing I forgot to mention that doesn't work, this is optioned with the fender mounted turn signals, but the fender mounted turn signals aren't coming on, but the ones up front and in the back do work right. Those are probably just the bulbs up on the fenders. Horn works as well. Center console's nice. The top of the center console has been painted black. I don't know exactly when that was done, but it looks good. I've actually owned this car twice. I bought it a number of years ago from a gentleman that had it for a really long time, and then I sold it to a local customer about an hour away. He played with it, did some things with it over the last couple of years, and then asked me to buy it back. So that's how I got it for round two. And if y'all watch my videos, I've talked about plenty of cars that I've owned multiple times, especially buying back good cars like this. I have no problem ever bringing it back to my shop. We'll get on it just a little bit. Again, not a race car, but the 440 does have good power. Shifts nice and positive. And then we're about 60 miles an hour right there, and it's a good cruising car at that speed. This is a non-AC car, but the heater's there and it does work. As far as the underneath goes, extremely solid Mopar. The floors, the frame rails inside the trunk, the drop downs, everything is very nice, and I found no rust issues on the bottom side of this car. Just a good, clean, dry car on the bottom side. It does have your factory undercoating, but you can You can see that nothing's been hacked up or patched or really welded on the bottom side of this car. Just again, a good solid Mopar. Exterior wise, unfortunately there is no fender tech, so I don't know what the original color is. Everything that I can see, and judging by the interior, it looks like a factory black interior car and a factory maroon exterior car. Just the fender tech was lost at some point. Older reshot car on the outside, but the paint quality still looks good. Has some miscellaneous little touch-ups and flaws kind of in miscellaneous areas around the car. A little bit of chrome flaking off the back of the bumper around the bumper bolt. Just kind of an older original, maybe a single repaint car, but a good solid body. The paint still has a nice quality. It's just maybe 25 years old. Drive it up here to our bumpy road, test out the suspension. I personally really like these early GTXs. They're just a really cool car. Every time I get them, they seem to sell really quick. I sell a ton of 68, 69, 70 GTXs and Roadrunners as well. But this early GTX is just a really, really cool car. I like the boxier style that these have. And I really like the interior on these cars too. They're very comfortable. The buckets are nice. Being a GTX, you obviously got the buckets and console. Floor shifter's cool. And then again, testing out the brakes there. Again, being manual drums, it does still stop nice. And again, that's that microphone slinging around in the back there. All your glass looks good. The windows roll up and down like they should. The windshield's nice with no stone chips. The side windows very well could have been replaced at some point because they are very clear. If they are original, they are very nice original ones. The back glass also looks good. And then your suspension is all stock style suspension. No weird sounds, no weird rattles. The car goes where you point it. The steering feels good. Suspension feels nice and tight. And again, this is a really, really bumpy road, so the car handles it very well. Exhaust has a good note to it, not too loud. When you get in the throttle, you can hear the mufflers, but it's not too loud where I can definitely have a conversation with the person next to me. Sounds good going down the road. Just a couple little things that I would address. I'd put a new speedo cable in it. I would upgrade the dash lights to an LED dash light, and while you're there, you might as well replace the fender, or the turn signal bulbs that are burnt out. So a weekend's worth of work, you could fix the couple small things that aren't working on this car and you'd be ready to go, or just leave it like it is and drive it and enjoy it. It's warmed up good now. We'll kind of get on it again. And again, I do think it might have a little shift kit in it, just minor. 15-inch magnums on it, good tires all the way around. And then back on the bumpers, the front bumper looks pretty good. The back bumper very well could be original. And right around the bumper bolts on both sides, there's a little bit of chrome flaking off on both sides on the bumper. If you check out the additional infos tab on our website, you click on that, it'll pull up the additional images. I'll have photos of all the flaws on the car, as well as motor numbers, pictures of it on the dash. Actually, this one's not on the dash, it's on the on these earlier Mopars are on the driver's door jamb, so the VIN tag is there. And again, it does decode as a real GTX, clean title like all of my cars. Just a really cool GTX that I've owned 2 times now, so just a really good car, and I think someone will be very, very happy with it. Yeah, again, those manual drums, they do stop the car well. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that you want to see, don't hesitate to leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button to check all of our latest updates, catch all the other videos that we do, and then check us out at PC Classic Cars. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next test drive video.